Okay, this stream is supposed to be scheduled for later, but it just started. So I'm not exactly where I wanted to start this stream. I'll be there in a second. Oh my gosh, the wind. All right, someone will tell me if this wind is just too annoying. It's such a beautiful day. It is 90 degrees here in our nation's capital, but it's not humid, but it is windy. Maybe when I get around the corner, the wind will stop. I apologize. I know how annoying this probably sounds right now. So I don't know what the point of scheduling stream and then hitting the button. I guess if it's like fewer than 5 minutes, because it was going to be 5 minutes from now. So maybe if it's fewer than 5 minutes, it just starts. All right, I'm getting to where I wanted to start quickly because I'm being honked at. Well, discombobulated. I'm at Scott Circle in Washington, D.C. It's the convergence of 16th Street and Massachusetts Avenue and Rhode Island Avenue. And this magnificent building in front of us is the Embassy of Australia. And I know I say this quite often, but it is my favorite embassy. So I've probably called 10 different embassies my favorite embassy. But this one is my favorite embassy. And we'll go around the other side, get a slightly better view in a minute. And you'll see why it's my favorite embassy. This is new, relatively new construction. Hello, Ratatouille Play Roblox. Hello, Casey. Very glad you could join us. So I'm actually going to go the other way around the circle. So we're going to have to go away from this view just for a minute, because from the other side, this embassy is even more magnificent, and we'll see why. Hello, Mador. Hello. This Australia, this is Washington, D.C., but this is the Embassy of Australia. And hi, Mador. Hello, Rakura Rose. It's very nice to meet you. So I'm gonna cross back over the busy street I just crossed over. We're gonna go around the circle the long way so we can get a really great view of this building with the sun in the correct position. So I did an architectural study of this building last year and published it with the Society for One Place Studies. So if any of you are historians and architectural design freaks like me, you'll find my study of this building at the Society for One Place Studies. It's actually a website, and you can find lots of architectural studies there. But the reason I chose this one as my first among the embassies, because there's a lot of history in this circle. So this is Scott Circle in Washington, D.C. 16th Street is here, and it actually runs under the circle. A great big tunnel was built. Like in the 1940s, I think. It's actually quite an old tunnel, because this is a really busy place. So that is the statue of Winfield Scott, General Winfield Scott, who this circle is named after. And this is just a look down 16th Street. And yeah, that's the White House. That's the White House here from the 16th Street Viaduct. And there's the Washington Memorial in a distance there too. But the White House, the address is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and we are exactly on 16th Street. So that's why you can see the White House from here. But we're not here to talk about the White House. We're here to talk about the Embassy of Australia. This magnificent work of art. Now, a lot of controversy around this embassy. because it replaced one of those grand historic buildings that I often cherish here in Washington, D.C. But it was an ugly old historic building that sat on this corner. So in my study, and there's you can find the full-length video on this channel all about the Embassy of Australia. But the mansion that was on this site, which was 1601 Massachusetts Avenue, was a disaster. It was ugly. And every successive owner tried to add a little more to it. So they would add on to it and try to make it more ornamented. But they were making it uglier and uglier by my account. But also not just my account. In a historic record that was published by the Washington, D.C. Commission on Fine Arts, the study on that building was quoted as saying something to the effect of, you know, the continued addition of ornamentation tried to fix essentially the broken aesthetic. It was a nice way of saying that building was ugly. So then what came up over the years, and then through the Great Depression, of course, some of these grand old mansions fell into disrepair. That mansion was taken over for a time by the Red Cross. For a time, the Embassy of Peru sat in that mansion. And finally, it was just an eyesore. And it was torn down. And this block in front of us was purchased by the country of Australia. The original Australian embassy was up on Cleveland Avenue in Northwest Washington, D.C., quite a ways north from here. And our relationship with Australia was great and growing, and it needed more space. The original Australian embassy, you'll see it in my video, was just a big block, just an ugly box. And that stood from, I don't know, the early 1960s until the 2000s. This building was completed, I think, in 2022, after COVID. And it's really magnificent when the sun's hitting it at the right angles. So early in the morning and this time of afternoon. The design brings in a lot of elements that are supposed to evoke Australia. So you have a lot of, obviously, glass, clear windows. You have this orangish, I guess it's brass, orangish color in the metalwork on the facade of the building. And then we're going to walk over there and see some of the artwork around this building from Australia. So the idea of the architecture was to kind of evoke the colors of Australia from land, sea, and sky. I don't think it's an eyesore. When you drive around here, there are plenty of ugly buildings that are eyesores. I think this is magnificent, and I think it really plays the light. So we're going to take a closer look at it. Also on this circle, statue to Daniel Webster, famous American orator and historical figure. Oops, gotta move faster. I know. Okay, that's the second time I've been beeped at today, and it is my fault. Totally my fault. Traffic circles are not my friends sometimes. But here I'll stop at different intervals to get a really good look at this one. And then we'll look at some other embassies as well in this area. Daryl! Hi, Daryl. Sorry, I was lecturing. I missed that you had joined. Hi, Toothless. Thank you for subscribing. Hello, Thomas. It's great to see you. Lily! Oh my gosh, it's good to see you again. It's really great to see you again. And we'll be just really careful about... Pete! Hey, Pete! Great to see you. So I am going to stand here at this corner just for a minute, and I'm going to have to talk over the music of this car right here, because this is a really good view of this embassy, especially with the flag flying today. And the breeze is really, I'm sorry if it's going to be annoying on the audio. I really do. First time here, I'm already enjoying the view. Greetings and all love from Atlanta, Georgia. Awesome. Hey, Ray, thank you. We're in Washington, D.C., and we're checking out the Embassy of Australia. This is my favorite embassy. This is the one that I have a published architectural study on this embassy, and I have a whole bunch of other embassies to do that for as well. But this is the one that I got out the door, and you can find a summary video on my channel. It's not the entire study. I won't bore you with any of that. Oh my God, James! Hey, hey, I'm stopping here. I'm trying to avoid the traffic on the way to work, but then I promise I'll be right into our game as soon as I do get home, and I will be collecting those supplies for you. James and I, Stacy's Geek and I play the front together. Hi, Rose from Pennsylvania. I'm so glad you're here. Brian, no chemtrails. Oh my God, Brian, the sky is you can see the sky is completely clear today. I've seen the helicopters come over today. You know, in this part of DC, the helicopters are here all day long. But not I can't find one in the sky. Today is blue sky, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. I don't know what that is in your Celsius world, 30 something, I think. Open the door. So I can't say. I have to be careful. I can't say when I've been in this embassy. But the International Club of Washington, D.C. is a fantastic organization. And through the International Club, you can get personal and private tours and attend all kinds of events at the embassies and other places around Washington. All right, as soon as it's safe, we're going to cross over and we're going to look at the artwork here. Can I meet you at DuPont Circle? Literally DuPont Circle, right down the street there. Right down the street. All right, I'm debating. Okay, I'm going to do it. Okay, I might get honked at for the third time today. So this is a good one. I don't understand, I overstand. Oh, I got to remember that one. So we're going to check out all of the amazing artwork here at the Embassy of Australia. And this public garden outside is free and open to everyone. So again, another amazing view. It's, you know, the glass of the windows is blue, and the coppery look of the superstructure or the skeletal structure, you get this blue and orange feel, and it's meant to evoke like the colors of the Australia land and sea and sky. And that was all planned, obviously, in the architectural design, and that's why I did my study on this, my first study on this embassy. So we're gonna walk around the block into the sculpture garden on this side. And there are a few other embassies up this street which we'll check out, but we'll do that after we look at the sculptures. Brian K, that looks like an emu. I don't know what an emu looks like. I seriously don't know. Someone mentioned that to me a while ago. This is the thumbnail for my video, this work of art here. And I took the photo early in the morning when the sun was hitting the building on this side. But this is a really cool piece of art. We'll come around, we'll actually, if I can get in at this end, we'll walk down and walk through the sculpture garden here. And then we're going to visit the Embassy of the Philippines and then Peru today, at least. Good day, mate. Good day. Good day, mate. Is that how we do it? Good day, mate. Oh, I don't think I can get in over here. I thought I could. Okay, we're going to try. We're going to go this way. But across the road here is the Embassy of, I forget. I have to be able to see the sign. Does that say Serbia? Yes. So across the way, Embassy of Serbia. That is in one of those old restored mansions from the early 1900s. That one's not an 1800s mansion. Okay, and I can't get in to the sculpture garden from this way. Now what I don't want to do is go near to the windows because I can't video near the windows. So I'm just going to peek over the fence. But you can visit here and you can walk on the other side of the fence and take a look at these interesting sculptures. Hello, Pug Stories. I'm so glad you're joining us. And in my video, I have the names of these works of art and the creators of these works of art. This one, okay, we have to get on the other side of this one because it's a big rock, but it opens up on the other side. So we do want to get a good look at that. Can I use simple English? Can I use simple English? I'm using, well, I apologize for my accent if that's the problem. My accent is mid-Atlantic, which is usually like the common accent used in old films is old mid-Atlantic to be American. Speaking of films, check out Film Club with me and Nerd Takes and Stasis Geek almost every Saturday, usually at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. This weekend, it's Demolition Man. This weekend was Stasis Geek's action movie pick, and it was Demolition Man. All right, I'm gonna see if I can do this and get into the sculpture garden without photographing through the windows, which is a no-no here. And we obviously abide by all rules when it comes to photographing. Oh, that's possible. And Lily, I know I talk really fast, so I apologize for that. I also apologize for walking fast. I know that bounces the camera around. I'm not a real YouTuber, so I don't want to get one of those stabilizers because I don't want to look like a YouTuber, but maybe I need one of those stabilizers. All right, so here, yes, so here. I wish there was some information here about the art. The information is inside the embassy. And I'm not going to go inside the embassy right now. That would be a big no-no for me. Not because I'm not invited. Because I have to let my work know before I do anything like that. Okay, now this is a weird mirror thing, and I don't want to get myself in the picture. So that would be even worse. All right, so I'm going to try to do this backwards and avoid getting in the picture. And I've done it. Look, it's a big mirror, but I'm not in it because I'm perfectly in the center. So this was the big rock formation that we saw from the other side, and it's opened up, but it's opened up to a big mirror on the inside, which is quite beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to go backwards again. And now you can see half of the open part and half of the rock part. And then here's this. I like this one. I like the orange. I like this beautiful orange color. Don't know what it is. Looks like people climbing. Definitely looks like people. I know, right? It does. No one's taxes pay for this, Mike. Great question. So the embassies, a couple of great things about the embassies in Washington, D.C. Number one is that taxpayers don't pay for it. The home country pays for it. But the great thing is that the home country So unless you're from Australia, then if you're from Australia, then yes, your taxpayer money paid for this. But the home country pays for it, and the home country, in most cases, has to restore any historic property that it occupies. And that's really why I'm interested in these embassies, because I'm interested in historic preservation. And because of the embassies, many of the mansions that would have fallen into ruin after the Great Depression were saved. Not all of them. And a nice shot of the Australian flag. Thank you, mods, whoever you are. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. All right. So that's enough of Australia. Uh-oh, now I'm afraid. What did I not see? I hope it wasn't me. I was trying to be really careful not to catch myself. Oh, well, it happens. Hey, Jay. Oh, yeah. Hey, I know. The sculpture is interpretive, okay? It's interpretive. I get it. There's a little fountain over here. Cute little fountain. And we'll take one last look back at my favorite embassy. And if you'd like to know what it looked like before this was here, check out my video, my full-length video on the Embassy of Australia, because the mansion that was here did not deserve to be preserved. It's one of those mansions that I'm glad is no longer here. It was such an eyesore. Absolute eyesore. Hi, Edson. Yeah, and hello, Ronald. It's good sometimes. Improvement is good. So our next embassy is here on Massachusetts Avenue. The Embassy of the Philippines. And it's in two parts. So over here is the original consulate of the Philippines, here in this more historic home, and I'll zoom up to get a better view of the design of this one. But this is the Philippines. But again, another new construction across the street is the current Embassy of the Philippines. Of course, now the wind stops, so the flags aren't going right now. Hi, Twick Myers. Well, hi, Twick. I have a Nirvana shirt too, but I'm old enough to remember them when they were still Nirvana. No, Green Man. No, that's okay. Oh, Brian, you're from New Zealand. Awesome. Awesome. So, Embassy of the Philippines over there. This is really the beginning. Whoa, okay, almost tripped. Take two. This is the beginning of a nice walk. If you're gonna walk west on Massachusetts Avenue, you would start here and see a lot of embassies. Or you could start up at the East End, up at Sheridan Circle. Actually, you could start all the way at the Naval Observatory, where the Embassy of Great Britain is, the United Kingdom. You could start there and walk your way down here. It's about 2 miles. And it's fine on a 90-degree day or any day of the year. Daryl, it would have been hilarious if I'd have walked into that sign. I understand. I do. I understand the value of comedy, even at the expense of cracking my skull open. I do. And I would be happy to have given you a laugh. I would have. I get it. Oh, you're in West Virginia, not too far from here. All right, now on this corner, now I'm gonna wait to cross over here. This is crazy. So this is the Embassy of Peru. Embassy of Peru. Now I'm gonna get hit by a cyclist. Geez, I'm out of the way of the cars, and the cyclist just wants to kill me. Delete me, Minecraft me, whatever. On the corner of 17th and Massachusetts Avenue here, the Embassy of Peru. This is also occupying a former mansion. And a nice breeze there to get a picture. Now that flag is new. Several weeks ago when I was here, that flag was looking pretty tattered and quite dull. Hey, Jay, you feel, yep, do whatever you feel. I can never really watch the chat because the sun's too bright. I can't see much. So if you see anything questionable, but we'll give a wide berth to Daryl. Daryl can be questionable. But yeah, Jay, if you want to time anything out, please do. Thank you. I appreciate it. Any political comments? Those are the ones that I certainly get most concerned about. This is not a political channel. This is a history and an architecture channel. So that's Peru. Now, right next door to Peru, with trees in the way. By the way, all the trees are blooming right now. So getting the smell of the blossoms. And now it's getting windy again. Also, tell me if the audio gets too terrible. This little one, this cute little one, is the Embassy of Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, Trinidad and Tobago. In that one right there. And this is a great example. Well, not an embassy. This is a great Art Deco example. Built in the 1920s. Really cool design above the doorway there. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate it. Hey, son, she can't see. I know I can't see. Hey, I'm just being honest. I can't see even without the sun. It doesn't matter. I can't see anyway. This more modern construction is part of the Embassy of Colombia. There's another building that is part of the embassy complex down at DuPont Circle. And that one occupies a more historic building. But this modern architecture, I don't mind it. I don't mind it when it's mixed in with the historic structures. I think it's fine. Serves its purpose. Serves its purpose. This is rush hour, Washington, D.C. on a pretty busy thoroughfare. And I believe this is the Embassy of Chile across the road. We'll get in the shade and get a better look. Daphne, hi! I'm so glad you're here. And this is the Embassy of Chile, Daphne. The Republic of Chile in Washington, D.C. on Massachusetts Avenue, where I always am. Why am I always here? Because almost all of the mansions, well, the important mansions of the important people during the Gilded Age, this was where they were all built. And then after the Depression, most of them almost fell into ruin, and some of them are no longer here. Some of them are still here today because the embassies, the foreign missions moved in. And so therefore, this is a great place to view preserved architecture for that very reason. So these embassies saved these beautiful mansions. The German embassy, Lily, the German embassy couldn't be farther away from here. It's definitely not within walking distance. The German embassy occupies a huge compound up in the Foxhall area, ooh, that's loud, of Washington, D.C. It's close to the French embassy, believe it or not, and it's also close to the Russian embassy. I'm sure I have a short on the German embassy, but I will be creating a full-length video on the German embassy because I was able to go inside the compound there and get a lot of photos a few years ago during an open house. So I do have lots and lots of photos of the German embassy, and it's beautiful. The German embassy includes a huge garden. It's on a big estate. It has like water features. It has a playground. It's huge. It has the German ambassador's residence is also in that compound. And during the open house, there are art exhibits and all kinds of cool stuff for kids and adults. So I have a lot of photos there. This is Uzbekistan. That's a good flag. Let me see if I can get a little more of the building in the shot here, whilst I don't get toppled over by these bicycles here. There we go. So that's one definitely in the Second Empire style. The Second Empire is characterized by that roof line, and you see that slate roof with light colored stone, light colored brick, or even concrete work, and the wrought iron work around the railings, and usually an awning over the door, but this one doesn't have an awning over the door, but it does have balconies. So all of those elements are characteristic of what we call Second Empire, which was influenced by France. It's referring to the Second Empire, the Second Age, Napoleon, our friend Napoleon, and the influence of that architecture on the rest of the world and here in Washington, D.C. So this was built by a wealthy family and then probably abandoned during the Great Depression. And so different embassies and other institutions occupied this building, and today it's the Embassy of Uzbekistan. Now you know. Now you know where that one is. I'm going to do a loop around this block, and then we'll work our way back down to 16th Street. We've only gone about 3 blocks. This is 19th Street up here. No, it's 18th. So we've only gone 2 full blocks. How far is the Nigerian embassy from here? Okay, I know where it is. It's not... You'll have to check my short video to find out where that is. I think it's up off of DuPont Circle. That one's... Oh, no, it's actually... I think that one is on International Drive. There's a complex of modern embassies near where the University of the District of Columbia is. Way up on Connecticut Avenue. And that's where I think you'll find Nigeria. I know for sure that's where Austria is. And United Arab Emirates. And I can see it, but I can't think of it. Jordan. And a bunch of other ones. This one's not an embassy. But this is an absolute dream of architectural salvage here and preservation. This is the home of the American Enterprise Institute, but was previously a massive mansion here at 1789 Massachusetts Avenue with the beautiful Beaux-Arts awning over the door. Typical of like the metro stations in France. That's what that reminds me of. If you've been on the metro station in Paris, some of them have that kind of awning. And yeah, really detailed stonework around the windows. Hi, James. Why are embassies needed? They should be in one building. Oh my gosh, no. So there are in Washington, D.C., there are over 200 embassy buildings supporting over 180-ish countries. Now I can't remember the total number. I have visited every single one of them. And last year I did a celebration stream. It was my very first live stream, was when I finished all the embassies. And it was a rainy, miserable day, and I just decided to live stream. I had never done it before. And Highlander was the first one on to join me. And that started this crazy live streaming. This one that you're looking at is the Embassy of, oh God, I hope I say the right one. This is Iraq. This is the Embassy of Iraq. This is a strange building. We have taken a closer look at this building, and that weird carport on the far left side of this building, that is a really bizarre architectural, definitely not masterpiece, monstrosity, maybe. Not criticizing the occupants, just criticizing the architecture here. Not a fan. But why are they needed? So they're needed so that we can have all kinds of diplomatic activities in a safe space. So if they were all in one building, can you imagine some countries sharing a building? Like, can you imagine in the 1950s, Germany and France sharing the same building? Or today, can you imagine India and Pakistan sharing the same building? Ain't gonna happen. And that's why we have separate buildings. This is the Embassy of Malaysia. I am gonna cross over. This is not safe. Why do I keep doing this? Okay. Embassy of Malaysia over here. It's actually the annex. The big Embassy of Malaysia, I think, is also at that complex off of International Drive in Northwest Washington above Connecticut. So that one's a little hard to see. But I am gonna cross over. I'm gonna cross over when it is safe so to do. I can't believe it's 90 degrees, and normally if it's 90 degrees here, you're just dying because it's so humid, but it's not. Today's a good day. It's just hot and dry. It's just a hot and dry day. So that's the Embassy of Malaysia. There's a peak of St. Thomas's Church. We've visited that one on a previous live stream, so I'm not going to go up there. Definitely a modern church, but actually very well suited for this neighborhood because it lends to the architectural variety. I know, right? Security would be crazy. We need to get rid of the embassies and get them in an online chat room. No, because we need to save these beautiful buildings. These beautiful, beautiful buildings need to be saved. We love our online chat rooms, but we also love beautiful architecture. Hey, another space nut. I'm so glad to see you. Awesome. Thank you so much. Country Taco ×2. You have a great day also. I want to say thanks for joining. Yeah, so here's some of the residential mix of buildings here. It's going to be hard to get a picture here because I'm on this side of the street. The other cool thing about this area is we're just steps from DuPont Circle, and awesome restaurants, bars, all kinds of clubs and cool places to be. I would love to live here. I can't afford to live here. Is there a building code for embassies? Well, the important building codes that we talk about here are, they have to maintain, if it is a historic building, the occupants have to maintain the historic character. They can't make significant alterations that would damage the architectural features. So those are the most important building codes for the embassies. They can't add floors, and there are building height restrictions in Washington, D.C. And that's part of the reason why it's a really quiet city. Jay, thank you so much. It was really kind of you to stop by. So everyone, check out Nerd Takes channel. Nerd Takes has been posting some retro gaming shorts, some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles gaming shorts. It is all pixely goodness. So please check out Nerd Takes channel if you want some retro gaming goodness. He also plays newer games too. We like when he's playing Batman, Arkham, and Spider-Man. So check out Jay's channel, and thank you so much for being an awesome mod. Can't believe I have mods. So just a peek at this building. I don't like to hover in on residences while people are home, but you can see underneath the address, which is 1735, you see that plaque? That's a preservation and conservation easement plaque. So that means that rules apply to that building. That means that there are probably restrictions. They probably can't build, maybe they can't build a deck on the back. Maybe they can't build or make internal changes. Hey, Miracle Boy. Hey, thank you. I hope you're having a great day too. And there's another one on this stone structure. Has kind of a castle feel to it. Now look, I've been living and working here my entire life, but every day I see something new. This one definitely has a castle feel. And it also has the easement plaque. How am I not on the partner program yet? Because I don't have watch hours. So 90% of my videos are 30-second shorts, and they don't count toward watch hours. And also, I'm really not a real YouTuber, so it hasn't been something that I've thought about. But then when I started doing live streams, I started racking up the watch hours. So watch my video. You appreciate the question. I think I started this year having like 200 subs. And for years I had like 12 subs. And this year has just exploded. So there must be people who like architecture and who like walking through awesome residential neighborhoods and neighborhoods like this. And this one's for sale. And this one's for sale. Oh, hey, another space nut. I do appreciate that. I'm really squirrely about, it's not that I don't trust you. I'm a heavy duty introvert. So even just doing this, the very first time that I posted a video and something happened and it got like 500 likes, I freaked out and almost deleted my channel because I didn't want people to see me. Even though it was a video that didn't have me in it, I kind of freak out. So I'm a heavy duty introvert. I appreciate the offer. I really do. But I don't have contact information out there. Now these are beautiful. These are what you would call your typical, these are not brownstones, but they're in the brownstone, they're in that brownstone design. There's a little bit of brownstone on these. These are brick. These are good old red brick. But they have that, the steps up to the ground floor. In America, we call it the first floor. In Europe, you call it the ground floor. But the steps up to that primary floor and then the steps down to a basement, that's typical of what you would call a brownstone. You'd find those in New York. But here in DC, it's such a mix in DC. And then you get to Baltimore and Philadelphia, and they're like, there's a very distinctive style in Baltimore and Philadelphia of the row homes. I'm not even going to call them townhomes. They are row homes in Baltimore and Philadelphia. But here in DC, you get this wild mix, which is why I like it here. Too many rules for building codes. I know. Oh, another space nut. I love that. That's awfully kind of you. We have good people. Like, we're a very nice crowd here on this channel and in our little community here. Jay and Stasis and all of our little gang. We're good people. We have really good chats. We don't get into politics. We argue a lot about movies and films and video games and all kinds of cool nerd stuff. So this is 17th Street. And up here, lots and lots of restaurants and lots of great architecture in this area. And this is a vegan restaurant. No offense. No offense to the vegans. But I like a good steak. I do. I can't go the vegan route. I accidentally became vegetarian once. And it was just because I gave up meat for Lent, and then I just kind of forgot to start eating meat again. Tried to do that with Pepsi, but that did not work at all. When I gave up with Pepsi, midnight on Easter Sunday, I was down in a Pepsi or 3. So we are on, I don't even remember. So Massachusetts, are we on? I'm not sure what street we're on. I'm going to have to look at the street sign. Koki said, oh, EMA, that's fighting words. No, that's okay. My whole family, they're left-handed and they drink Coke. I'm the only one who's right-handed. I like Pepsi. My mom's left-handed. My husband's left-handed. And they're Coca-Cola people. I'm a Pepsi person. And we found our way back up to 16th Street. Now, 16th Street was a much wider main boulevard here, so the buildings are much bigger. We walked up north of Meridian Hill Park on a prior stream, and we got to look at the Polish embassy, the Lithuanian embassy, the embassy of Cuba, and part of the embassy of Mexico. So those are all up in that direction, but way up this street. We're not going to go that far. But here we're going to take a look at buildings that were probably purpose-built as multi-tenant apartments back in the late 1800s and early 1900s. And then we will finish at the Hungarian embassy. Is it Hungary? I think it is Hungary. Yes, the Hungarian embassy or Hungary embassy. Back down on 16th Street. I like this one. I think that's a good one. A mix of residences and grander buildings here. There are a few embassies up here. And I'm sorry to say I can't remember which ones. We'll know it when we get there. Has he seen the Goonies? I found out today that Mr. B has never seen Big Trouble in Little China. Well, he has seen The Sound of Music. We know that. And we know he knows every word to every song in The Sound of Music. So I think that's a redemption for not having seen the Goonies. Maybe? No, probably not. It's the sci-fi films that disappoint me. I think there are a lot of sci-fi that he hasn't seen. Is that a black car without plates? So some states you have to have a plate just on the back, and some states you have to have it on the back and front. I'm in Maryland and we have to have our plates on the back and the front. But here in DC, I don't know what the rule is. I don't know what the rule is. Now that's definitely a 1920-ish Art Deco. Wow. Take a look at this doorway. Birds chirping are beautiful. I know, I should shut up and let you listen to the birds. Because amid all of this traffic, DC is a very quiet city because the buildings are of low height and there's a lot of green space. So this is 1530 16th Street Northwest, and this is Art Deco at its finest. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I'm with you, another space nut for sure. So just off the main street, we've got a little quiet space. I'll be quiet, listen to the birds. Daryl, I don't even want to ask if he's seen Alien. I don't know. The answer frightens me. Has he seen Terminator? I don't know. Here we have the Kurdistan Regional Government Office. So this is the Kurds office here in Washington, D.C. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Is there graffiti on any building? There are certainly areas with graffiti, but and Washington has gone through a lot of change, and it depends on the administration, right? Sometimes it's a filthy, very scary city. Right now, it's an awesome place to be. And yeah, this is an elephant. This is an elephant here. Whoops. We have gone on elephant safari around some of the embassies farther down on Mass Avenue. The Embassy of India and Sri Lanka and Cote d'Ivoire, I believe, all have elephants in front of them. And this building, which is not an embassy, also has an elephant. So there's that. We're going to go up one more block and then make our way back down and finish at the Embassy of Hungary. And if traffic's okay, maybe Tunisia, because Tunisia is across the way from Hungary. All right, I'm waiting for this guy to go. Nope. I was using you to see if it was safe. Sorry, dude. I was letting him go ahead of me. And if he survived, I would have crossed the street. That's terrible. Chivalry is not dead, ladies and gentlemen. Chivalry is not dead. There's a nice little corner unit here. This is not a street I would want to live on. This is too busy all day long. All day long. Really loud. I don't think most of these are private residences. I think these are apartments and places of business. 2000, I don't know. Star Wars. Hi, Ailes. Hello. Hello. Thank you for joining. I don't want to know if he's seen I don't even want to ask him if he's seen Star Wars, because I'll be very upset if he gives us the wrong answer. I don't know. I tell myself, well, he's younger, so Maybe it passed him by, but it's Star Wars. My kids have seen Star Wars. I don't know. Everyone should see the classics. And we did, and you'll know the classics because we reviewed them on Film Club. So one of our early film clubs, we did review Star Wars. So if you go to Stasis Geeks channel, you go to the live tab, you'll find all of our film club reviews, one of which is Star Wars. Is Here America? Yes, we are in, hello Ben Shaku. Very nice to meet you. It's not England. No, we're in Washington, D.C. We're on 16th Street in Northwest Washington, D.C. We're just doing a little walk while I avoid the traffic before I head home for the day. And this might be it for our embassies here, because I think the next block or two, we're going to be back to where we did start at Meridian Hill Park. So I'm going to turn back around. Oh, wait, I'm going to take a look at this one for sure. Wow. Can we say grand? That is impressive. Oh, he has better have seen Jaws, because EM, I don't know if you know me, but Jaws is one of my top 10 favorite films of all time for a lot of reasons, not just because of the shark. I think it's a perfect film. I think we will review it on Film Club at some point, and I will talk for hours about Jaws. I know it turned 60, and I'm going to go see it in the theater. One of our theaters already has it scheduled. I think it's like July 4th weekend. So I'm going to see Jaws in the theater for the first time. Obviously, I wasn't around for the first one. But when I saw it on television, I was a real little kid. And I'll tell you, I didn't want to, like, when it was bath time, I knew that shark was going to come up the drain into my bathtub. Like, as a kid, I was terrified of being eaten by a shark in the bathtub. But I've gotten over that. I'm okay now. Oh, so it's 50 years. Yeah, it's 50 years old. It's not 60, it's 50. 50, 50, 50. Yeah, I'm not that old. This is a good one. But, oh, and up here, this is the Scottish Rite Temple. It's a Masonic thing here. Daphne, I agree. I agree. It is a crime. Absolutely. Yeah, so that's a Masonic temple there, with the temple way up on that pediment. Wow. And I have no idea what all that means, what all that symbolism is. None whatsoever. But it is a beautiful building. I mean, you would hope that masons would build a good building. And they did. And here's our last embassy on 16th Street, the Embassy of the Republic of Congo. Here, I know I'm shooting right into the sun. Try to peek behind this little pillar here. Republic of Congo. Yeah. Here on 16th Street. Quite magnificent. But it's this one. I adore this building, this apartment building. It's got that neo-Gothic, beautiful design here. It's kind of that design that you would see in academic buildings. But this is an apartment building. Now, if I crossed the street, it would be too close. And unfortunately, there's trees. So it is really hard to see all the detail on this building. So you'll just have to come here in person to Washington, D.C. This is 1701 16th Street. I believe it says the building is the Castleton with a CH. So that's the Castleton building. So appropriately named. Now this used to, okay, one of these used to be an embassy. So when I say I filmed every single embassy building, because some countries have multiple buildings, when I say I filmed every single one, that's with an asterisk, because they're constantly moving or being renovated or acquiring new property. So in a few years, I'll have to come back and do it over again. Hi, Yo 5000. Yes, I am in America. You know where that is? All right, I'll see you here. This is 16th Street. I'll meet you at the Embassy of Tunisia. But there's another good look at the ornamentation around the windows, including the wrought iron work around the window grates. Not quite French doors, but French windows that open up in front of those window grates. I'm trying to get to America. The orange man is making the visa. Gretchen, my hiking buddy. See, I remember. How are you? I'm on 16th Street in Washington, D.C. on a 90-degree, beautiful day, taking in some of the embassies. And I gotta tell you, I hope you got out this weekend, Gretchen. Hey, crankbait. Well, I work in Washington, but I live in Baltimore. So I gotta say, go Ravens. So misdemeanor, like for right now, this city is very clean. Hi, CBS 12. It's pretty clean. It's a lot of construction and a lot of detours around the city, but that's all goodness because things are building and being improved. New buildings going up everywhere. That's all good signs. It's really annoying when you're trying to drive through the city. It's even dangerous when you're walking, as everyone almost saw me crash face first into a sign earlier today. It will happen. Gretchen, it has been, Sunday was like the best day ever. I walked, we had, one of our YouTube friends was visiting from the UK, and I did a walking tour for him and his beautiful partner, and I ended up, I think I did 9 miles on Sunday because it was so wonderful. I think together we did about 5, and then I kept walking for the rest of the day on Sunday. And you can hear some of the birds. As we get closer to Massachusetts Avenue down here, it's gonna get louder. The traffic, except for those electric cars. They sneak up on you. So if I don't get crushed by a sign or trip down a hole, I will be hit by an electric car while I'm doing these live streams. Oh, and now it's getting windier too. What would a walking tour cost? Nothing. Another space nut. Nothing. I walk every weekend, and anyone who wants to join me can. Plus, it's really easy to do. Washington is flat in most places. Capitol Hill obviously is a hill. So what I tend to do is start on Capitol Hill, work my way down. When I'm with other people, I walk across the mall. There's our little elephant again. I walk across the mall all the way down to the memorials, up to the White House, come back down, and then I walk back to Capitol Hill. But sometimes people I'm with take a cab or the metro back because it's all uphill on the way back. But yeah, there's our elephant friend here. You got it, Space Nut. We'll have to get a group together. It's a great place to walk. If you all haven't figured that out by now from all of my videos, how much I love Washington, D.C. and Baltimore and Philadelphia. Growing up in the city, I walked everywhere. Working in these cities, I walk everywhere. And I know there are people who grew up in the country and the suburbs who will hop in a car to go 2 blocks away. And I can't do that. I like to walk. The last embassy, the last 2 embassies on our stops today, I think. Unless we come up with another one. There might be one more down here. I think there's one more. Because we came up this street. There might be one more embassy that we haven't seen yet. What's my take on New York? So, hot and cold. I've been there when it's been magnificent. I've been there when it's lousy. The last time I was there, it was really run down and scary. New York it swings from scary to wonderful very quickly. I haven't been there in 2 years though. So it's an easy train ride from where I live, from Baltimore's Penn Station. So I should just do it. I should just hop on a train and go. Because it has been a long time. And I should give it... there's nothing... Well, I was going to say there's nothing like a show on Broadway, but I've been to the London Theater. London Theater's best, but Broadway is awesome too. I live in rural North England, and we have lots of amazing walks here. You do. And I have not... The farthest north I have been I've been to, after the motorcycle goes away, I've been to the UK several times, but rarely do I get out of London because there's just so much to do and see there. I've been to Stratford, I've been to Leicester, and that's it. But I need to get up north and get to the Yorkshire Dales are calling me. That might be kind of cool. Ooh, that's kind of creepy. Okay, Scientology is here. Yeah, Scientology's here. So no comment on that. We'll wish the best for those folks there, but yeah. Didn't know Scientology. Scientology used to be up closer to DuPont Circle. I guess they moved. So that's really creepy. Here's one. Let's see which embassy is this. Or maybe not. Well, it's a flag as if there's an embassy here. Which flag is that? There's no sign. The building is just a commercial building. I think this is one like I've looked up, like when I was looking up all the embassies I hadn't run into. And I do apologize, whichever country this is, I'm gonna guess it's a South American country. It's in this building, but there's no sign. There's a flag. Oh, Oh, and here comes the wind. The wind is just here, just at this part right here, where it was before. And there we are back to the Embassy of Serbia and the Embassy of Kazakhstan. There's a good one. Oh, I'm smelling the magnolia trees. Embassy of Kazakhstan. Is it Guatemala? It might be. Oh, Daphne, that would be fantastic. I don't remember. Where's Ashley? What part of the UK is Ashley from? I'm sad to say I don't remember. I remember him saying, and then I forgot. I'm so sorry. And then there's Serbia over there. And we're back to the Embassy of Australia, but oh goodness. Okay. We're not going to cross over there. We're going to come back here and be super safe and cross up here. Because I'm not going to get flattened on 16th Street. And I have this nice little median here to safety. And yeah, I'm wearing a business suit right now. I'm wearing a skirt. I got my sneakers on though. Okay. Republic of Serbia. Anyway, I keep spare clothes in the car. I should learn to change. Hi, Sandy. Hi. Hi, Sandy. I'm Sandy. This is Washington, D.C. We're on 16th Street. I'm sorry for the wind. Now it's going to get windy. This is the Embassy of Serbia. We're checking out some of the embassies.
I'll tell you, I was nervous.
And there's the flag. And that magnificent structure is where we began our tour today at the Embassy of Australia. And we started here because this was the first architectural study I published. Was on this building here. And I have over 180 more to publish. And it's going to take me a very long time. A lifetime, in fact. But that's okay. Gives me something to do. Definitely gives me something to do. Now we have two little bonus embassies coming up down here. We have the Embassy of Hungary. One of the embassies of Hungary. There are a couple of different buildings. So we'll see one of those, and then we'll end at the Embassy of Tunisia. Oh, Lincolnshire. Okay, I don't know where that is. Where the Mayflower left. Got it. Okay. Great historic reference, Daphne. Well, I hope you get to go there. You two are just the sweetest, kindest people. And I really mean that. And what a great story. You know? We had a match made in our little gaming community. I remember when you told me. And it was just so exciting. It was so exciting. I couldn't believe it. Oops, sorry about that. So back here, back to Scott Circle with the backside of the statue of General Winfield Scott. And just over here, another former mansion is one of the parts of the Embassy of Hungary. There are a few different ones, and the ambassador's residence of Hungary. I remember this because I love how they decorate for the holidays. For Christmas, they have these little tiny trees in front of the ambassador's residence. And it's up near a Naval Observatory Circle. And I love how they decorate the little trees with the white lights. So shout out to the ambassador from Hungary. You do an awesome job decorating for Christmas. And here we are at the embassy from Hungary. Excuse me. And I think this will be our last one. Traffic's getting super loud. And if I go down on Massachusetts Avenue proper, it's just going to be terribly loud.